So, so you invest in. You follow my theory of invest in the things that are going to change the way you live.
Yes, this is my investments.
Okay, you too.
I had to sell. I didn't want to ask my dad for more money. He always gives it to me, but I just have Square, Tesla, and the Invesco QQQ ETF.
Invesco QQQ.
Which is all your popular Facebooks, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon. And hopefully they readjust their percentages by the end of December. Because
what do you mean there? Oh, within the
holdings.
Within the exchange traders fund. Okay. Yeah. No, I think that makes good sense. And you're only 27 years. Are you married?
I'm married. Yes.
Do you have any children?
No children.
Okay. Well, it's there's plenty of time for that.
I figured I'd get settled in first. Here's my wife. This was on our walk yesterday. I don't know if you can see. And then my parents. This is a hotel we're building.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Is it for a franchise or?
Yeah, it's a Wyndham property.
Oh wow!
American. It's in Miramar Beach.
Okay.
I'm sure.
So, is that what you want to be doing in 10 years?
Yes, I think I'll be, construction. For the next foreseeable future, reading projects.
Okay.
We're about to be building a boutique hotel down the road at Inland Beach.
Oh, Inland? Yeah.
7-story, 24 rooms.
7 stories, 24 rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's unheard
so it's not
of.
a hotel, it's a condo.
It's like a resort, and every room has a swimming pool in it. And
oh, come on.
Yeah, it's a different concept. So,
okay.
They gave it to us, and we're a small company,
Wow. So. Okay. No, my attitude towards real estate has changed very dramatically. Mm-hmm. And I think it's what I don't think most people recognize is real estate is a wonderful way to shelter wealth. Yeah. We learned from Donald Trump you don't have to pay taxes if you understand real estate well.
Right.
And I don't think people know that. So it's, to me, it's a passive means of creating wealth, and it needs to be in everybody's portfolio. Now, again, you're getting exposed to it early. Although I spent some time with my granddaughter who's just graduating from college, and she was asking me, should I get into flipping homes? I said, well, hey, you need to know what you're doing. Yes. But then I found out her boyfriend is a good electrician.
Okay.
So, and he also knows plumbing. So she loaded me with that question.
Yeah, we got into that 3 years ago. We did a home in Crestview. $55,000 home. Great deal, 2,500 square feet.
55,000?
Yeah.
It must have been in the ghetto.
It's in a decent area, but it's like an onion. It's worse than the ghetto. It's like you peel and peel it.
Oh.
We put in $150,000. 3 years, and countless mom fighting in with dad and saying, what are you doing? Why did you invest with those kind of people? And you give them money on top of it, and you're gonna not even break even. And
okay.
It's easier said for me that I'm in the construction business, building hotels and all, but I know what it took my parents who just busted their butt ever since they've been in the United States. And I'm reaping the benefits of it, and I'm doing my share too. Like,
did they make that into a good project?
Oh, it's a beautiful home. It's a beautiful home. But we broke even, luckily. We got 200,000. Yeah, we sold it. I was like, Dad, just sell it, man. Don't rent it. We're gonna have stupid renters and gonna trash it up again.
That's a problem.
And I'm working on getting my GC license. I'm very close. I passed my exam.
Okay.
General contractor. So that's what I am by trade. Hospitality is in my blood. I was raised in a hotel, small hotel. So, and we're in a good area, luckily. And just like you, my dad says the same thing, that he got another buddy of mine. I remember I was saying I might bring him along.
Yeah.
He's like, he was not a fan of the stock market like a year ago. He thought it was small money and all that. And now he's so into it. He's like, man, I'm so glad you brought me into it. And my dad, and then he's like, why do you even do any hotels? Just if you're so good at this, just do that. But my dad said
and that's because you haven't lived through the bad times.
that's what my dad said. You youngins don't know what
You
bad time
don't
is.
know what that is. I did a video just recently where I showed Intel. And Intel, again, that little logo is on every laptop. It was at $7 a share, and it went to 75 in 2 years, and then it went back down to 7.
Okay.
And that's the potential of what can happen. And I would have said, if it hadn't been for the pandemic, that's what was going to happen. If the government had not put $7 million or $1 trillion into our market in the last 6 months, our corporate debt was so out of line, and there were so many corporations. We were setting ourselves up for a combination of the dot-com bubble and the subprime crisis all at the same time. And still, we have that debt. So logically, you would say, okay, it's going to collapse again. But I'm confident they were going to pump another $10 trillion into this. And as I say, that money has to go somewhere. And you look around here. These are the people who did it. None of these people, maybe the waitresses and the waiters are struggling. But it's like my son tells me, they can't afford to live here. They have to go up to the next north town. Up by the highway.
Freeport, San Rose Beach.
Exactly. In order to find housing that they can afford.
Right.
I remember coming down here. There's a house, the first house in that corner right there.
Right.
It's a massive house. It takes up almost half the city block. And that house right now is probably $8 to $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
In 2011, I went through it, and it was a foreclosure, and it was on the market for $1 million to $1.2 million. I wish I had $1.2 million at the time, although it's such a big house, I don't know what to do with it. We're trying to buy one down here now, but the numbers just don't work together.
Right.
They don't come together.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see another housing crisis down here, which I think will happen, but it won't happen in 2021. We're just going to, Joe Biden is going to pump a lot of money.
Oh yeah, them and Nancy together. But yeah, that's the same thing my dad was saying, that you can't make the money. You can make big money in real estate if things go right, which you won't replicate in the stock market as much. I think you might agree with that. That's what he's saying. Money's still in the real estate, like in a good area. So,
real estate, it just
cycles.
Well, I think the problem is it's harder work. It's hard work to figure out the numbers on a house, and then you have to deal, if you are leasing it, you have to deal with the tenants, and you have to deal with toilets that don't flush and all that sort of stuff. Whereas the stock market, you just put it in, and if you're lucky, and you bought Tesla, this is easy. Let's buy Nita. What's the one? Jim Cramer went crazy this morning. His stock, it's a electric vehicle company,
Li Auto.
And I did a video, and I think they had something like 72 employees. They've never produced a car, and yet the stock was up 10% today.
Wow.
Why? There is no reason other than the momentum, the excitement about electronic vehicles, which is, I can remember in 1998, 1999, everybody who had any kind of business was scrambling to get a URL to end their name with .com. And the enthusiasm, the excitement about .com created the .com bubble, and it will create the electric vehicle.
Wow.
It would.
Right.
They can't all survive. The other thing it's interesting is that, what was it, General Motors indicated they're going to put $27 billion into their electric vehicle business. You can't ignore that. That's a real stiff competition. Granted, they could be another Sears Roebuck, but I don't think they are. I think they recognize what is going to happen.
Right.
And so you can't discount them.
Yeah.
And then put all your money in the Neos and the Nicolas and the crazy things that it's another .com bubble.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same token, it just kind of came to me that with 5G, as we were talking about earlier, the internet is about you and I putting data in. Now, as we go into the Internet of Everything, and that data comes in, the same people that are making money off of processing our data now are going to be the people who are going to reap the benefits of 5G. And that's Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and what other, the one
Microsoft,
yeah.
the Big Six.
The Big Six, yeah. Except for, I'm really disappointed in IBM. And that is, they don't know who they are. They don't know how to market themselves in this economy. It's like I say, I would challenge you to tell me who the CEO of IBM is.
I don't. I know all the other guys.
You know all the other
Yeah.
ones, and you'd recognize them if they came in.
You're right.
Probably.
I have no idea.
But you don't know who. And in this day and age, that is so important.
CEOs, yes.
Yeah.
That theory of your
You know who Elon Musk is.
right. You say
know who
like,
Jeff Bezos is.
your company resembles the CEO, and that does play a factor.
Oh, of course it
Do you
does.
agree with? Yeah.
Oh, it does. It's and if he is also the founder, he's got his blood, sweat, and tears in that.
Yes.
Whereas Jamie Dimon is a hell of a banker, but he's a salaried employee. And when he gets a better offer, he'll leave.
Right.
And he'll take his skills with him. But Jeff's not leaving, and Mark's not leaving.
Right.
Sergey and Larry are on the fringes of Google, and Bill Gates is not a part of but their personality is still there.
Still there. Okay. Larry, my dad is a big fan of Larry Page and Sergey. Back like 10 years, I hear them. Look at these young guys that came from. Are they Eastern European?
Larry, Sergey.
Larry's one of
them is Jewish,
Okay.
and I think he's Israeli, and the other one I think has got some Russian element of the Soviet Union, whatever that is. The other thing that I think is interesting is how so many of them started in garages.
Wow.
Larry Page and
Sergey
Brin started Google in a garage, and they were a team. Bill Gates and Paul Allen started Microsoft in a garage. Apple, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs started together, and they started as two. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there. As I have run businesses, it's very lonely.
Okay.
It's very lonely. And if you don't have somebody to bounce your ideas off of, you're apt to make more mistakes.
Okay.
Whereas someone else who has a different opinion will say, wait a second, Kerry, step back. That might not be the way you want to go. So I think it's very important, if you're young and you want to start a business, you find somebody, and probably not your wife, who has the same ambition, the same drive, but different ideas.
What you just said, it 100% relates to what I'm going through. And my dad when he first came to America, his best friend, childhood friend, he had the same vision, but the other guy didn't. He was thinking, I think, short term. And he didn't even put my dad's name on the business. And so within a year, my mom found out, and so we gotta go. He's not even gonna. We're 50-50 partner. We put up all the capital. But like you say, if you find a good partner, which I'm lucky enough to benefit from my cousins in Louisiana, and my young career is going to get boosted, and I'm grateful to God or whoever you believe in nature, and that played a lucky factor in me. It's not that my dad was not smart. He's much smarter than I am, but just the luck didn't work out. He got tangled up with a wrong guy, and he was from India, so he didn't have many options, like I did. So two is better than one. But my mom and dad, they ran a business together. They lived where they work, and boom, boom, boom. It's like there's no marriage life left after that. So,
well, I think you have your culture is so different, and I see that the Indian culture also in most Asian cultures. Their work ethic, your work ethic is unbelievable. And that whatever it takes, that's what we'll do. I remember when we used to travel and you'd go into a Holiday Inn or something like that, and it was a Patel that was running it, and as you saw the young ladies making the beds in the morning, they were Patels. And that's the same thing if you go into a Chinese restaurant. Everybody in that restaurant is related. And they work. They don't cheat each other. They don't try to underhand anybody. And that's not prevalent. In the U.S. population, I would say the closest you get to it is the Jewish population.
My dad says if you can make a Jewish friend, I am proud of you, because that's very hard to do. They don't open up much because what has been happened to them in the past of everybody just having something against them. They're very selfish.
And
as they are,
because they have been dealt a bad hand.
Whether it was Hitler or whoever.
Well, even here in the United States, there's a lot of prejudice towards them. Actually, most of our friends are Jewish.
That's good.
And I don't know exactly. I guess I do know. I started going to the gym at the Jewish Community Center, and that's who I ended up in the locker room with. No, it's interesting, and I think that there's something to be learned there. That's how you find somebody who you can work with. I'm looking for that in my YouTube channel. I'm 76 years old. How long am I going to be able to make a video every day? Right now, it's not a challenge.
You're doing great, sir. I think it's going to continue.
It's interesting you say that, because I trouble with it. I can see that if I put Tesla or Neo or Workhorse in the title, I will get a lot of views. Where I think my talent is, what I just explained to you, is of how Google, Apple, and Amazon are going to benefit from 5G, because they are the collectors of data. They are the processors of data. And that how these chip companies of Allied No, ADM,
Qualcomm, and NVIDIA.
These smart chips. I remember when I was in the military. Where did we go? Fort Lewis, outside of Seattle, and I was the head of a unit that controlled the inventory of weapons and supplies going to Vietnam. And we worked with punch cards. You probably don't know what a punch card is, but the IBM computer was as big as this restaurant, and you sat with keys and you punched the cards, and that created the inventory that was here and needed to go there. And then this huge machine processed it. And that's what computers were. And now, what is it they say? There's more technology in this than the rocket that put Neil Armstrong on the moon.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I see this chip that they're making that has more power in it than the IBM computer that took up this whole place, and it fits on your phone.
Yeah.
Wow. And as we were talking about earlier, Elon put a chip in the neck of a pig.
Yeah.
I honestly believe before I die, I will have a chip in the back of my neck. And I will say, who is the 15th president of the United States? And I'll know it. I'll just know it.
Yeah.
Right now, to get that answer, I
You'd
talk
have
to
to
this.
Is it Franklin Peterson?
No, I think that's, wasn't that Abraham Lincoln? That's fine.
Abraham was 16th, I think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Oh, I can't believe that.
And I love history and geography.
Who was the 15th president of the United States?
James Buchanan.
Buchanan. Okay. Yeah, and think about that. When I grew up, to get that answer, I'd have to go to an encyclopedia. Or if we didn't have encyclopedias in the house, I'd have to go to the library.
Right.
But right now, it's there. So is it a stretch to say it'll move from there to there? Is that a stretch? I don't think so.
Nothing is nowadays.
No. We know that Google has it already, that it's in my glasses.
Right.
So I can ask my glasses and it will give me the answer in my ear. So is it a stretch that it's going to go to the back of my neck?
Probably not.
And is it a stretch to say that, as some people find this a little gross, that you will have a smart toilet that will analyze your waste and a mirror that will analyze your body, and it will put it to your phone or the chip in your neck,
right,
and tell you need to get to the doctor? Is that a stretch? No.
Some of it's already there. My dad uses it all, the Sync Fit, and he weighs himself when he's alone in the bathroom, and he analyzes all the data of cholesterol levels or pressure levels.
Yeah, my Fitbit, it actually ranks me.
Yeah, it's a Fitbit.
Okay, it ranks me against other men my age, my weight, my height, and it tells me where I am in the spectrum, and basically keeps track. I fully assume that if I have a heart attack, it's going to tell me.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not worried about where we are. I'm only worried that I won't live to see it. But you will. That's another. I don't know if you've heard me talk about the book Lifespan. David Sinclair. He's a PhD at Harvard, and he studies lifespan. And he makes the claim. And if you think about this, what kills people? Cancer, heart disease, some Alzheimer's. Well, what if we cured all that?
Yeah.
What if we took that out of the spectrum? Could a person live to be 150 years of age? Yeah, I think they probably could. Could they live beyond that? Well, when I bought my first car in 1960, I bought a 56 Ford, and a two-tone Ford. And it had a Thunderbird engine in it, and the life expectancy of that engine was somewhere between 30 and 50,000 miles. Okay? Why now is the life expectancy of my BMW 200,000 miles? Why? Is it because the engines got better? No, they're still internal combustion engines. But unlike in the Ford, when the oil lost the oil, I have something that comes on and says, you're losing oil. When it overheats, it tells me. When my front tire is low, it tells me.
Right.
And so we are monitoring that automobile. My car has 145 sensors in it. What if I put 145 sensors in my body? Could I take my life expectancy to 200 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, could I take it beyond that? How would I get my BMW beyond 200 years? I changed the parts. Could I do that? in my body?
Yeah.
Could I 3D print a heart? Yeah, I think they're already 3D printing livers.
Yeah.
I know they're 3D printing ears. So, and then what are the ramifications of that?
Right.
That people never die. But if they never die, they're not taxing our healthcare system either.
Right.
And what if, where I'm invested in Illumina, genome sequencing
Oh yeah.
cost $1 million in 2020, no, in 2000 to get your genome sequenced. $1 million. Today it'll cost you 400.
Wow.
So when you have your first child, you will, in fact, your insurance company will pay to have their genome sequenced. And at that point, you will know if they have a propensity for cancer, for heart disease, for kidney failure, for whatever. And you can then, if it's one of those that CRISPR can realign the genome, you can take care of it right there.
Wow.
Or you can take a pharmaceutical drug that will keep it in line for the rest of their life.
Right.
That's already here.
Yeah, it's surprising how many things are probably there, and just like all these agencies like the CIA and FBI and all the regulations that keep things back. And if we have the
I think, you know what, I think there probably was, there aren't as many people here now, but there were probably 50 people here.
Right.
If we walked around and we asked those 50 people, what is genome sequencing? Probably less than 10% would know.
Right.
What my point is, most people don't pay attention to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
And most people, if I had this conversation with them, they'd be anxious to get up and leave. Because they don't care.
Right.
They don't care. But if they started talking about flowers,
Oh,
and
then everybody.
I wouldn't care. So my point is that it's only a few of us who really have an interest in what's happening around us and how we can profit from it.
Right.
And how we can better our lives and how we can take ownership in companies like Amazon and Google. And literally, think of that. I think about 75 shares of Tesla. So I'm part owner of that company.
Yeah.
I'm part owner of Google. What do you do for a living? Well, I'm part owner of Google,
Yeah.
Amazon, Apple,
I'm investing.
Square.
Yeah. You're investing into the future.
Well, no, that's what I do for a living.
You're helping the world be a better place. And
Yeah.
something to be proud of. Like
Yeah.
your money, your hard-earned money, is in that company.
Only because I want to turn it into more.
Yeah.
There's a selfish motive.
Oh yeah.